I've sort of been sitting here debating on what I was going to title this one and what I was going to go into here. It's January 1st, 2012. We're here. Happy New Year to everyone, first off. So I've titled this one Parallel Reality Timelines. Even though I'm really not sure, yet what I think or make of this concept, there is just a fascinating thing that happens in some of my OBEs, and I'm going to use that as an example in this video log. It was actually really freaky to me for a long time. It would happen when I first started going out of body, and it freaked me out. So it stopped happening for a while, and then recently it's sort of reinstigated itself. And last week I had an experience where the technique being used to wake me up inside there was another me, another Casey, coming to wake me up. So it happened multiple times, like all in a row, like 7 or 8 times in a row. A me would be used to come wake me up. I would have this sort of interaction, and I would either go into some detailed interaction, or I would lose consciousness, and in another area, another me would come wake me up. By the third time, I pretty much had the glitch, or the gist, sorry, of the thing that other Caseys were being used to wake me up. So when I would see another Casey, I would wake up. What I don't really know yet, or have a clear understanding of the way I see yet, is whether or not these are literally parallel me's that are living other lifetimes, or really just simply a technique. I go with the parallel reality timelines myself. I lean in that direction. I see how this idea could be so. It's just vague. It's just vague. So let's see. I'll go into this particular experience. The first time I come to wake myself up, I'm interacting with myself in an airport, and as I'm sort of checking luggage through, I turn around and tell myself, the other me tells this me, to go get another ticket for me, the second me, right? And this is happening because I'm just gleaning at this point that there are two of me. I'm thinking this. There are two of me, and so I must need 2 tickets. And so the other me just simply mirrors this back by saying, go get another ticket, and gives me her ticket because all the information was on it so we could get to the same place together. And so I'm walking away, and as I'm going away, the environment begins to give way and shift into a new environment, and which was a movie theater. I love these metaphors. Like this reality could be seen as a movie theater, and other reality frames as other movie theaters. It's funny. So because I can shift from one movie theater into the next, this sort of theme is also used in my experiences a lot. Airplanes and movie theaters. So I'm sort of thinking in my awareness, oh, great, how am I going to get the other me her ticket? How am I going to, get us back together again? Anyway, it shifts into the movie theater. There is a lot of energy coursing through my body. The energy causes me to lose some awareness, and moments later, I'm in another environment. I shift again, and another me comes to wake me up. Now, here they start getting a lot more interesting. It is so hard to know in which order to do this because my experiences happen in such simultaneous fashion anymore that there's not a linear order. There is just layers that are given all at once, and I'm somehow aware of all of these layers. So anyway, let me see where I will go next. I will go next into the frame where I am outside on the rooftop of a building in a futuristic appearing setting, and again another me is waking me up. I'm being given exercises by this other me to do for probably to work off the energy that I became aware of that was coursing through my system just previously. And it was something, you know, between, in yoga, what's called chaturanga, which is this sort of caterpillar-like pose down on the ground, and the Tibetan rite that or Buddhist thing that the Buddhist monks do, the prostration thing that they do. Anyway, it was something like right between this, and this works to wake me up. I move from this frame in the same frame over onto a pathway where there's a woman asking me for something to eat. I happen to have food there, like a picnic set up, and she's putting her feet in it. Now, this I'm not liking too much, and again, I'm becoming aware of all of the energy coming through me, and there is this altercation that I begin to have with her, and which I know that I'm having because I'm working this energy through my system. So this is an awareness I'm having as this is happening. I lose consciousness. Another me is brought back to wake me up, and this time I'm with another woman walking up the ramp to a higher layer of the building that's all the way on top. And I'm with this woman who is relaying to me that she does not believe in extraterrestrials, on life on other planets, you know, any of this. And I am helping her understand that there is, and there's another energy here. There's another male energy that is the main teacher helping her understand this. That's sort of happening with, sort of inside this event happening. But anyway, I continue with her up to the top, and we have we sit down at this table, and this experience is more for me, I find out in just a moment, than for her, or equally. As I'm trying to explain to her that there is life on other planets, I begin to see hovering over a building just next to us a large ET craft, and I try to get her to turn around to see this. She absolutely won't do it, and you know, it's sort of circling this building and about to power away, and just no matter what I say to her to try to get her to turn around to look, she won't. And this is when I realize that I'm not having a sighting here. I'm actually on another world. I am the life on the other planet that's trying to introduce that idea to this person. But at the same time, again, I also come into the awareness that I'm on another planet, which I didn't realize at that point. From here, as soon as I do realize this, I move into an interaction with an ET that I'm associated with. He appears male in the beginning. He has more experience, more understanding, more knowing than I do. And so we're having a teacher-student thing here where I'm asking him questions and he's answering them for me. It goes on for a long time, for hours. And we're laying down. We're in a horizontal position as I'm asking these questions. And during the length of our conversation, his appearance is morphing from a human male to something more extraterrestrial, to more extraterrestrial, to more extraterrestrial, which was absolutely fascinating. And because it happened in this gradual fashion, it didn't disturb me. I simply just kept asking questions, and he kept answering them up to the point where I began losing consciousness again, and I was asking him how old he was, which was actually pertinent to me at that time. I was trying to get an idea of the depth of our relationship with each other through asking that. And, you know, he relays to me that he doesn't believe in the concept of a beginning, and goes into some, you know, discourse on this as I gradually shift from this reality back into my reality here. So, yeah, when I come to wake myself up like this, when there's another Casey coming to wake me up, are these parallel reality timelines? You know, I don't know. Somebody asked me the other day if I had you know, if when I merge with the consciousness of other lifetimes, have I ever come into the full memory of that lifetime? You know, and that's something that has not happened yet. I would love for that to happen. That would, you know, tell me so much more than what I know and experience right now. And same thing with these other me's. If as I merged consciousness with them and came into their lifetime memories, you know, I would probably know more about whether or not these were, you know, parallel timelines or simply a visual being used, you know, in my experiences, or both. I mean, it could be both. It can always be both. So, and there's another, you know, thing that happens, another metaphor in my experiences that's fascinating too, and that's the one of the false awakening, and you know what the false awakening is. And you know, this is when in an OBE you lose some consciousness, you shift into a reality frame that you then mistake for your primary reality, and you go about as though you've just woken up in it, and then later your, you know, your alarm clock goes off and you wake up in what really is your primary reality. So you sort of have this false awakening into this other timeline. And are those simply other lifetimes that we're living when that happens? I think so, but still I'm not sure. There's just so much more to get clear on that, you know, I'm really hoping 2012 brings through to me. You know, these things, which are quite simple and more